Hello. It has been a while, and when I was going to I decided to record this video. I looked back to see how long it's been, and just now, and apparently it's been a year, and then a year before that, and four before that. So I've been really, really terrible at updating. But I am here and still going, and the reality of the work that we're doing, I'm commercial photo and video. Um, we are super busy, and I just don't find the time. And I didn't really have a direct purpose or goal for this channel. That sort of has solidified recently, and I've been thinking I should get on it. And so thank you for hanging out and maybe subscribing. And if you haven't, please subscribe. Um, I think a lot of people in the industry have been talking about how bad it is. And I think depending on where you are in the market, maybe it is terrible. There's a lot of emerging technologies. There are a lot of different pressures happening. There's a lot of volatility in markets in general. When we started out, before we were doing commercial photo and video, we were doing graphic design, and that transitioned about 15 years ago. But we went through the 2008 financial crisis, and we saw how that went. And so we're very familiar with volatility. And although we've never been busier, I recognize that this is the time where we need to review. And this is the time of year, normally January, February is the time of year where I can review things because it's quiet, and I worry, will we ever work again? But the reality is that this year and last year were just super busy. And so finally, it's just quieted down enough that right now I can kind of look at it. And, also, I have a family. And if you have a family, who has the time for YouTube creation, especially when you have your business and, just having a family is a lot, so having the family business, so to speak. So anyway, moving forward, I'm going to try to post more. I realize that there's just a certain amount of information that we're constantly churning through, and there's things that we're constantly doing, and there's equipment, and there's techniques, and sort of interests that we're exploring. Everything from, obviously with what we're doing, like I picked up a lens yesterday. Well, why do we pick up that lens? Why have a 50 RF 1.2 versus the Otis or the Sigma, and it's, like which one do you choose on which kind of shoot and why? And, that gets a little bit into rarefied air, I guess, but it's not all about expensive gear. There's very inexpensive things. And sometimes the really inexpensive things make all the difference on a given shoot. And so picking those things out, and if you're anything like me, you probably look to YouTube for information. I no longer really go for blogs and whatnot. If I can find them, great, but it's hard to find now. And so I'll look at YouTube videos, and usually it's it's like a shootout between two things. And, it's nice because I can try to read between the lines and look at the images and make a decision. But at the same time, it surprises me that there aren't more people doing what I'm doing out there talking. As often as not, when you're watching a YouTuber, it sort of makes you wonder, like, is this person just a professional YouTuber? What are they bringing to the table, and why? And, not to discredit anything they're saying, because I find them incredibly useful. But it's also just to understand, it's just inherent in the work we do. Depending on what field you're in, depending on what market you're in, your needs are different. I'm not in Hollywood, and I feel like most of the video YouTubers are either professional YouTubers or they are sort of quasi-Hollywood people. And that's not who we are. We're in a small to mid-market commercial sector, serving some individual, but mostly commercial and institutional clients. And we've been doing it for a while. And so I don't walk into this as the authoritative voice, and it's more that maybe having one more voice of someone who is in the field, working with the equipment, or has the same kind of questions you may. I certainly find that comforting and useful information, and it just is, it helps me understand the nuances a bit more. It just have more voices in it. So I'm going to try to add my voice. And the reason this all came around was a very practical reason. I was doing a lot of research on a particular topic of interest for us in terms of gear, and it was a concern. And I finally found a solution that really worked. I was really excited. I thought, I should probably post a video about this because this is something people aren't talking about enough. But it's a particular product I found too, and so I thought I should create like an affiliate link so at least I can benefit from this because we're a small business. I need to look at revenue streams, and that'd be exciting and new. And I went into looking into affiliate stuff, and I realized, well, I don't have a subscriber base, except you, maybe. So please, thank you very much. Um, and so, I realized I've got to build this thing and it's going to be a grind, but the best time to start at this was yesterday or 4 years ago or whatever the case may be. And this may never get picked up by the algorithm. No one may end up seeing this. This is me just getting back into it, trying to get the basics of a mic and my webcam and we have the studio. I'm not doing the whole studio setup. I want to make this as low lift as possible. So late at night when all the other work is done, but before I call it a day, I can turn on the camera, talk about a given topic, and maybe people find it useful. And then hopefully that will organically build something, which then will allow us as a business to have another revenue stream, really. But then maybe it's not directly revenue. Maybe it's a way of just connecting with people in the industry and reaching out. And so it's really about kind of trying to generate a value trade. We'll trade information and the research that we've done and experience. So hopefully you can take with it, whatever you can. And in return, maybe we'll make connections and go from there. So this is where we are. Thank you for checking it out. I'm going to be talking, I'm not sure what I'm going to be talking about exactly next. There's so many different things that we're dealing with at any given time. Yesterday, new lens, a week ago, new storage systems. There's a constant churn. And so that said, if you're in this running your business, like me, there's, we're not shopping for sake of shopping, and I'm not pursuing new equipment for just the sake of new equipment. Like, it has to elevate the work, and it has to displace something that we already have or open up a whole new avenue. And there are those things that we're doing, and they are exciting. They don't have to be expensive. And I want to talk about what those things are and maybe get feedback. I'd love to have more feedback from people, and hopefully this can be a conversation. It's a little bit weird because this is a one-way street until people comment. So I am looking forward to it. Thank you very much. Onward and upward.